Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, we're joined by a clinical social worker and therapist. Yes, she's a therapist, and she's been on the show. She's no stranger to the show. She's the founder of Latinx and social work, and she joins us to shed some light on some techniques that can help alleviate anxiety and improve mental health. So please welcome to the show, Erica Sandoval. Welcome, Erica.
Thank you so much for having me.
Finally, nice to see you in person. You know, we're always on TV, and you know, during COVID and everything, you're doing it from home. I'm doing it from home, and here we go.
Now here we are in person, live and
brick and mortar.
Yes, I love it. I love being back in person. It really is.
And it's always great to see you and have you in our wonderful studios.
Thanks
How
so
many
much.
adults are affected by anxiety in the U.S., especially in this day and age? It seems like there's more.
There's many adults. There's about 50 million adults affected by anxiety disorder, and actually 1 in 5 individuals. And some don't even realize that they have it.
Yeah.
It's unreported sometimes, so there might be much more higher numbers.
Yes.
Especially for students, we really don't understand what's happening with our body, and we don't know how to name it. So there's many more people that may be impacted, but have not reported it. So at least 50 million and 1 in 5 individuals.
How do we recognize some of the symptoms? Because you can be going through life and not knowing anxiety is anxiety, or anxiety is what's causing some of the problems in your life.
That's right. That's right. Some of the symptoms you can really check in with your body and yourself is if you're losing sleep, if you're having ruminating thoughts. Ruminating thoughts is when you just can't stop thinking about a specific task or things, staying up late at night, waking up really early in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, not being able to get to sleep. Those are some symptoms. Also, irritability. You might have some somatic symptoms like stomach upset, headaches. The biggest one is chest pains, like you're feeling like you can't breathe, or you're almost, it feels like a heart attack.
It can resemble a heart attack.
It can. Yeah. And then we end up going to see our doctors, and then there's the results of your EKG says there's nothing wrong with you. And you know it's a panic attack when you're feeling like you can't breathe and your heart's palpitating and it feels like a heart attack.
Probably just giving you high blood pressure and everything else.
It could definitely cause.
It's mimicking a lot of other.
That's right. It's somatic. So
problems.
That's right. We have stomach upsets. And I think that the biggest thing is that we can't sleep. We get very irritable and we cannot focus.
Yeah.
Anxiety can keep us in this whirlwind of just ruminating just over one idea, one thought constantly.
So Latinx and social work. What's some of the work that you do?
It's really
social work, but
yes.
You know, it's more extensive than that.
I love it. So we have about 44 incredible social work leaders in the field. Many are from the Bronx. And we came together to publish our personal narratives about our own traumas and resilience, to normalize mental health, to normalize substance use, to normalize all these things that our communities are experiencing. And it's not common for a social worker to be so open about their life. It's not. And while we did this, while we wrote our personal narrative, we started having our own healing process on a different level.
Yeah.
And we owned our narrative and we started publishing our personal stories. Maybe some were secrets in the family system. And a lot of it really had to do with making sure that we normalize mental health, normalize access, normalize receiving access, normalize looking for apoyo, looking for support within the communities that we love so much. So we're here. There's not enough of us still in the community, but we're here. And we did this because we want to bring more awareness to our communities and bring more people in.
And you always talk about, you know, you're helping everybody else. Where does a social worker go to get help? Because, you know, you didn't have to.
We have to heal ourselves. That's right.
You know, how do you manage it all?
For me, my personal healing path has been lifelong. I started therapy probably in my 30s and then paused for a minute and then came back. Finding the right therapist is key. We also need someone to speak to. There's retreats that you can attend to. You can really come in community. Community healing is key. And I actually started my own, I guess you could say, third part of my journey in healing with psychedelic therapies. I
What?
went to get trained.
What's that about?
Oh, it's incredible.
We need another show for it, right?
We do. I got trained by the Ketamine Training Center, an incredible
Mm-hmm.
training center, and I became a ketamine assisted psychotherapist.
Yes.
And when I experienced the training, I started just shifting in my own ways and really programming my mind differently. And it's really opened up amazing pathways to a different way of seeing the world.
How can others benefit from that experience?
It reduces depression, it reduces anxiety. So if you qualify for being a ketamine assisted psychotherapist patient, you have to get cleared by a provider, and it can really reduce the anxiety, the depression, even PTSD. A lot of veterans have incredible results with ketamine assisted psychotherapy.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. It's been incredible.
And a lot of people are going to need that coming out of COVID. They needed it coming out of 9/11. Soldiers coming back from war. They can all use it. And with the way things are going today.
Yes, they can all use it. And it's not always as accessible.
Yeah.
Insurance doesn't cover it yet, unfortunately. And so what I'm doing is I'm creating some healing retreats in group with 2 other doctors to provide more accessible care for our communities that may not be able to have access to it if they didn't have a specific.
Can you put a different code on it and call it something else and treat it?
Well, the first code that we use it's talk therapy. So if you and I are doing a session, it's a talk therapy session, and that's a code of 90837 of 52 minutes.
And they will pay for that.
Because we're talking, we're processing, but the other 2 hours, it's not covered. So we're creating a system that we can reduce the cost by creating amazing groups and healing groups to provide access to our communities. We've had some amazing results. And we've seen some people of color having access to it. And traumas are processed so differently. And just also being a person of color and holding community for our community has been honoring indeed.
How did your daughter see all of this? What is her name?
Isabella.
Isabella, there you go. She's videotaping too. That's why I put her on the spot.
I love it. Isabella.
She sees you in a different light now that you're doing social work.
She has actually. She's probably my biggest cheerleader. She's also my biggest teacher.
Oh, okay.
She is. I navigated the world as a single mom. With her, she was 1 year old.
Yeah.
I went to school when she was born. I started going back to school then. And we grew up in a family system that she saw the struggles, but she never saw me give up. Yeah. And now she's graduating this year.
Hey, there you go. Congratulations to Isabella. Yeah. Thank you, Isabella. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
She may follow in your footsteps,
She's actually going into tech. She's a woman in tech.
Ooh, all
so
right.
Really excited for that.
I see she's working it out over there. Let's talk about your book, Latinx and Social Work.
Yes, we released 2 volumes. We have Latinx and Social Work Volume 1, and now we have Latinx and Latina in Social Work Volume 2 with incredible new authors in English and Spanish. And most recently, we, in collaboration with Dr. Linda LaSalle Bryant, Pia Hengrove, and Olga Prasado, we released a journal that accompanies the book that supports individuals in processing our stories and narratives through 150 prompts. So if you are having feelings about your own identity markers, if you have experienced microaggression, microinvalidation, and you really don't know how to name it or process it, this is a journal that we created to provide healing in a different modality through narrative therapy.
Excellent. Okay. And you guys are working on that. You guys put that out first?
We did. We put that out. Just recently came out about a couple of months ago, just for Social Work Month during the month of March. And we're starting to use it in specific schools and classrooms, and really looking forward to creating workshops.
Yeah. In your book, do you sort of teach people how to get rid of anxiety or how to work around it?
So what we do with the book is we normalize the situations that we have been impacted. Because a lot of the times within our own family systems, we don't realize that there's intergenerational anxiety that we've inherited.
Yeah.
There might be family dynamics that create anxiety, environmental stressors. Yeah. So we normalize our life It's not perfect. And we normalize seeking support, and we normalize making sure that you believe that you can also accomplish anything you want to accomplish, even though you've been impacted by a mental illness.
Excellent. Thank you for all the wonderful work that you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to shout some of your people
Absolutely.
out there that are working with you?
Yes, I want to shout out all of the Latinx and social work authors. We have the amazing madrinas and padrinos, everyone from the Bronx, Dr. Cindy Bautista, who's also a professor at Lehman College here, and Dr. Laura Quiros, Dr. Linda LaSalle Bryant. There are just incredible madrinas, and so many more of all of you and my whole team in Sandoval Colab. We have a psychotherapy and consultation group, which we support in workshops for organizations, healthcare systems, and educational systems. So we're here to support our community.
We love the work that you're doing. Congratulations to your daughter. And is there a website where we can go to find out more about all the wonderful work that you guys are doing?
Thank you for asking. You can go to sandovalcolab.com, and you can follow us on social media on Instagram at Latinx and Social Work and at Sandoval Colab. We look forward to staying connected, and we're here to serve. Thank you so much for having me, Bob.
Erica, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Come back again, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Right. We'll take a quick break right here. I've got a whole lot more coming up next on Open.